Hi, welcome to Laid Back Learning and Living. I'm Heather. Today, we're going to talk about the 3 homeschooling pitfalls that I've found over the last 7 years of teaching my children and how we've overcome them. Pitfall number 1, trying to recreate school at home. School is a totally different environment than your house. Schools were designed to orchestrate large number of kids and their learning and getting from place to place quickly. At home, we get to take advantage of snuggling up on the couch to read or going outside and doing math practice on the swing set. Don't feel like you have to do school for 6 hours a day. Children that are in the public schools are not sitting down learning for 6 hours. There's a lot of time spent orchestrating, lining up, going out to recess, lunchtime, just trying to get from one place to another. Let your child take control and ownership over where they want to learn. Maybe it's on the couch, maybe it's in their bed, maybe it's outside. If you do this, it gives them ownership of the learning experience and they're more likely to stay engaged throughout the lesson. Pitfall number 2, expecting more from your child than they can give. A lot of times we will look at a lesson or a schedule and try to complete that for the sake of being able to mark it off that we've completed it, or we're staying on schedule so we're ready for the next day. Just because a publisher says this is the end of the lesson does not mean that it actually is the end of the lesson. Pay attention to your child. If they're showing frustration or fatigue, listen to them and stop. You can come back to that lesson the next day, or maybe they're not ready for it altogether and you need to revisit it in a couple weeks or maybe even a couple months. Listen to your child and things will go smoother not only for you, but also for them. Pitfall number 3, don't discredit learning that you do throughout the day. Those lessons count. I was public school educated, and I know the lessons that I remember are those that were more impactful on me. So it's the projects and the fun stuff that piqued my interest. It was not the worksheets. Take that time. We love to integrate cooking into our geography and history lessons. This is a perfect opportunity where we can double a recipe, and my oldest daughter, who's 11, will then have to work on her fractions, adding and reducing fractions. My middle son, who's 6, he'll practice recognizing fractions in our measuring cups and measuring spoons, or even his reading. And my youngest daughter, who just turned 5, she'll practice listening to instructions and her gross motor skills. These are all valuable lessons that you can't just check off on a box. The worksheets are not impactful. It's those lessons and the way that they interact with the children that make them stick. Watch for your child's interests and use those to your advantage. For example, my oldest daughter has been catching grasshoppers in the backyard for 3 years out of our garden. So we took the opportunity to dive deeper into grasshoppers and what they eat, where they live. We even went as far as discovering different cultures that eat grasshoppers as a delicacy. It was all able to tie into a lesson that I know is not being taught in 6th grade science, but it was impactful to her, and therefore she was able to glean something out of it that's going to stick with her. I hope these lessons that I've learned over the last 7 years of homeschooling my kids can help you and make your homeschool day run a little bit smoother. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for spending your time with me. We'll see you next time.
Right here.
Here.
Ding.
Ding!
That's what it's going to be. Ding. I'm going to have a ding in there, too. I'm going to put a ding in there.
I don't know what I said, but I liked it. Abilities, ages, stages, and interests. Blowing minds. Perfect.